Game of Life training.
I wanted to play this, if I can, real quick.
Life is good. I feel good. Good things are always happening to me. Life is good. I feel good. Good things are always happening to me. That's the Life is Good song. When you say life is good, inside, in your mind, in your beingness, you know what life is good means. If you say, I feel good, you know what feeling good means to you. If you say, good things are always happening to me, then you know what that means deep in your soul. So if you say just those three things, it covers the gamut, it covers everything. You're speaking that into existence. Life is good. I feel good.
Can you still hear that?
No.
All right. Hi, Anne.
Hi.
This is Anne Siri, and I'm Aaron Spiegel, and together we are two gurus. She knows all kinds of stuff. I know all kinds of stuff, and I mean, it's just fun to talk about the stuff that we know and the things that we've been through, and how far we've come in life, right? And in the adventure it was to get to where we are. And I don't know that you have to be any certain age to come to the understanding that we've come to, right?
Yeah.
I think it generally happens later in life, like for people. I don't think you see too many people in their 20s that get it. Do you?
No, because the awareness is not shared with the world enough. Like people are not aware that that they have to search for the answers inside. So therefore they're searching for all the answers outside, not inside. So a lot of people are clueless to the potential they hold inside because they're not searching for it inside.
Okay, so you know what? I wanted to ask you about something. You said you got depressed, and it led you on a search. Can you share more about what you were going through depressed wise to take you onto the search? I mean, kind of like a backstory of this led to that, and then I finally, broke, or I understood, or I got this stuff early in life. Well, let's first explain what is the stuff that we got. What do you got? I mean, what understanding did you come to? Everything begins in self.
Well,
With yourself.
it's all to do with our personal growth, isn't it? Everything it begins with inside, but if you're living from the outside in, you're not coming inside to tackle the suppressed pain and the emotional certified beliefs, and you're not going to come inside if you're not aware of it. And I do believe personal growth brings us back to the awareness of it's about shifting our personality. Like it's like a personality shift. You're coming back to the center that we're all whole, but it takes us to unlearn to relearn. It took me to unlearn to relearn that I'm enough.
That you're enough.
Yeah. And that I'm deserving and worthy, and it's like my self-esteem and my self-worth and my self-standards were so low and to the ground that I allowed other people to treat me poorly because I was treating myself poorly. So it was only when I went on the self-growth journey and started to do my gratitudes and take responsibility and start responding instead of reacting, I started to get to know myself again. So therefore, I was building my self-esteem, my self-confidence, my self-worth, and then I didn't allow anybody else to treat me poorly because I was putting me first. I was putting myself on a pedestal, and I did this all because I done personal growth.
Well, that sounds conceited to me.
What does that mean?
Conceited means like self-loving, like you think you're the shit, you think you're the bomb. You're putting yourself on a pedestal. I mean, sounds arrogant, almost condescending to others.
I think it's needed though, because you need to prioritize yourself. Because when you prioritize yourself, the whole world around you will change. Like, we're not conditioned to do that. We're not conditioned to put self worth. We're conditioned to just allow the self that somebody else created to run the show. But I think when you do personal growth, you actually get to know. You take away. It's like you crack open the mind, and you start to undo all the conditioning one by one, and then you start to actually like yourself again, love yourself again, appreciate yourself, and you're like, I'm allowed to like this, I'm allowed to love this. It's like you're reborn again.
That's what it is too. It is reborn.
Yeah.
And the great thing is that you have a chance to be reborn any day. And you can be reborn after you've been reborn. So you can, like, you know, redefine yourself, create yourself on a daily basis. Truly. I mean,
Yeah.
even one step at a time. But you were saying, I think one of the things that you said is about forgiveness and forgiving yourself, and I think that that's a huge one for people to try to get past or get by, because they, you know, and self-loathing is, like, I'd say that's commonplace in today's society. Don't you think? I mean, who's happy with themselves? Who is really happy with themselves? The general person is not, is what I could say. And it takes a lot of work to become happy with yourself, because you are a piece of shit. And I'm not saying you, but I'm saying me. I'm saying some of the stuff that I've done is, you know, outrageous. I'm not proud of it. You know, it's, you know, crap. You know what I
But
mean?
I discovered, though, through personal growth, it's not between anybody else. It's only between you and God.
And,
And
well, yeah, go ahead.
and you know, once you forgive, you're not forgiven for other people. You're forgiven for yourself. And even though it was other people that was involved as well, like, because there would have been other people there, but you're forgiven. It's more of a let go. You're letting go, releasing, and you're healing, so you can feel. And it's just so important. It's so therapeutic when you actually forgive yourself and others for what
Well,
would have.
it lifts a weight off of your shoulders. Forgiveness, well, forgiveness is like a huge thing for anybody to, you know, to not poison themselves with. And it could be used against somebody else, or it could be used against yourself. So if you can learn to forgive everybody and to forgive yourself for, you know, being that, and realize that just because you were that doesn't make that who you are. And just because they're like that doesn't mean there's anything wrong with them. It's just that you've moved past that. You understand better than that now. So you can forgive them, because, you know, you were an asshole, or you were a dumbass, or you were, you know, you were a jerk, or, you know, whatever. You were all of those things that person is being. So forgive them for that. It's okay. Love them through it. You don't have to put yourself next to them. You don't have to be around them, but you can forgive them and be like, you know, they're doing the best they can with what they got. And that's true for anybody. Everybody is doing the best they can with what they have right now. Even if you know better, until you're inspired and you take a step and you say, okay, I want to make a change, until you do that, you know, you really don't know better. You know, you might know better, but you're not inspired to change. So how are you going to change? You know what I mean? We move, everything happens as it should, when it should.
I think as well they're looking at life through their perspective, and you're looking at it through yours. So you have to understand theirs and let them be, and you understand yours. Do you get me? And
Yeah.
let you be. Like, you can't. You
Well,
know.
there's truth to that. Let you be. And also, when you understand, then the question always becomes, what do I want? And as long as you live in the parameter of the golden rule, you can want anything, right? Yeah. What were you going to say? The golden rule?
Do unto others as you would yourself.
Right. That's a golden rule for a reason, because karma is real. And so if you treat everybody, you know, the way you would like to be treated, that's the way the world will reflect back onto you.
Mm.
So,
and also, what you give out comes back.
yeah, that's karma. That's the same. That's the golden rule. That's why, you know, that's why the golden rule. You must live The golden rule is not for them. It's for you. Yeah.
Yeah. Because
And when
for
you're
every action, there's a reaction.
exactly.
For all the actions that you're doing, it's going out to the world, but it's coming back to you. And this is
Yeah.
how you blow up. This is how you inspire your goal mind, build your goal mind up. Because givers gain. We gain by giving.
Okay. That's a good one.
Mm.
See? I had something. It came and went. Oh, the golden rule. We could always talk about that. Oh, no. This is what it was. When you're thinking inside something bad about somebody, you're poisoning your mind right now. I mean, right now. Plus, not to mention the effects that come from that thought or that type of thought, are all poison to your psyche and your being and your body. I mean, it's all physical and mental, and spiritual, right?
And
We're all that.
you're focusing on the negative rather than the positive.
Yeah, and
you're focused on expands. Whatever you give energy to grows. So it's like a game. You have to learn the game of the learn the rules of the game. And as I said, play better than anybody else. And it's not about competition. Competition is not God's plan. It's creation. So you're creating for yourself, but you have to understand the rules as well, like to play the game, like because it is a game. It's a game.
Well, I like what you said about you're focused on the negative, not the positive. But to go further, it's like a thought that is negative, that is a creation toward that. When you could be, in contrast, using that thought power toward the creation of something that you do want. So it's a waste of your time. It's a waste of your energy. It's a waste of your manifestation, your manifesting skills.
And as we know, I know, well, and probably a lot of people know, but some people don't. Creation is already finished.
Well, yeah, but it's still an adventure.
But it's still you're still the divine operation of you. I'm the divine operation of me. But if I'm not aware of creation is finished, a lot of people are creating their past rather than their future in the present. So that's where awareness comes into it as well. A lot of people are not aware that it's their operating system recycling back their past thoughts and behaviors, because that's what the operating system does. The subconscious mind. It's
called a loop.
Yeah. And it repeats back to the intellect, plays the experience back to behavior. And because people see their behavior, they allow their behavior to dictate their thinking, not realizing that we're God's highest form of creation and we actually came here to think for ourselves. And only when you start to think for yourself, you take possession of your mind. And that's how the power of goals. That's why you got to always have a goal. And a goal is not just a thought, it's a picture, because we think of pictures. So we're planting new pictures inside our subconscious mind, because our subconscious mind is must accept, it cannot reject, and it cannot tell what is real or imagined. So when we start imagining the life that we want to live, this subconscious mind is saying, wow, she actually is commanding me now. Like, she's taking control. She is the master creator of me now, rather than the past recycling. Because our memories are past pictures that most people live in the loop and they get emotionally involved with that. And that's why they thought, if someone's in the present and you bring their past into the present, well, then the past has the present moment rather than the individual having the present moment. And you only have your present moment when you create goals and dreams and plant them in your own gifted goal mind. That was probably a bit deep, but
I don't know. I don't think it was deep. I was thinking, actually, I thought some of the stuff was just flowing out of you like you were, in flow. It was just coming right out. So that's good. That's good for anybody. So can you talk about any goals that you have right now?
Well, one of my goals is to make $1 million in an hour. That's my big stretch goal, to make $1 million in an hour.
Do you have ideas on that?
Yeah, I want to do masterminds and create courses and just bring the awareness to people so they have the understanding and they can then choose if they want to come inside and daily do things in a certain way so they can grow and become better. And it's about simplifying the material for people. so they can understand it and then apply it to their life, because there's no point in knowing this and then you're not doing anything about it. You have to do the work to grow into the greatest version of yourself.
And
You
it's
know?
a process.
Yeah. It's
It really is. It is a practice. It's a process. Stuff that I wrote down 7 years ago, 8 years ago, 9 years ago, 10 years ago, you know, finally comes about. And sometimes it doesn't take that long at all, obviously, but there is a process and you just know, or it's like when you said creation is done, once you write it down or once you know it, it is done. And now you just kind of go through the realm here in life through the time space continuum or time space, and you wait for it to show up, and you're surprised how it does show up a lot of times.
and that's why, Aaron, you have to, like, when you're planted in the seed, obviously you don't sow and reap at the same time, because you have to wait on the seed to grow and nurture, and it goes down and then it comes back up. But while that is happening, that's why you got to learn patience, resilience, perseverance. You're learning new skills, because for you to have what you want, every desire has a frequency set point. So every desire is already here, but it's on a different frequency. And our frequency is our emotional intelligence. And that's when we come inside and actually do our work, eliminate our self-limiting beliefs, or work on our self-image, because we have to match the energy of that frequency to create that reality. So we have to grow into a new person for us to match that reality. And this is why it's so important for people to come inside and do their inner work.
Well, you said you're born again, and that's what it is. You're dying to your old self when you do that. You're changing those parts of yourself, and it's really a struggle for the body to get rid of old beliefs and habits. It really is, because it's so used to them and it's comfortable there. So a lot of times it doesn't go down without a fight. You have to just keep, like you said, perseverance is huge. You have to just keep going. And even if it doesn't seem like something's happening, something's happening. Just the act of doing is the practice that it takes, the act of, persevering, taking the next step, thinking toward the goal, seeing it like it's already done. Keep doing that, regardless of what you're met with here on this earth, here in this realm. Circumstances that are kicking your, coming at you. Those are thoughts of yesterday. And those, if you say life is good, I feel good, good things are always happening to me, and you stick with that, it comes around. I've been saying it for 9 years, and I'll tell you what, each and every day I can attest that that is true. I can't think of a time that it's not been that. It may not be ideal for some people, right? At certain times, like, I wouldn't say that the best circumstances are always there, but they're damn good. You know what I mean? If in the big picture, it's like, life is really good, and I do feel good, and good things are always happening to me, and I recognize them. And the more you recognize them, and the more you act on them, that's why when you look at this reality as it is, you're creating more of what you're seeing. You're creating more of, so you have to suspend what you're seeing out there and go inside and see that picture that you're talking about of it the way you want it to be, as if it already is right here, right now. That's the practice. Go and put some trance music on, lay in your bed, and then, just close your eyes and imagine, what would it be like if I already had achieved this goal? What would it be like? And you can cover the gamut while you're laying there, while you're meditating, while you're imagining. What would it be like? How would I feel? What would people be saying to me? What would it look like? What would it feel like? What would it be like? What would I be doing from start to finish in my day? Or how would that affect my life? And see the positives of that effect and start to feel it. And when you can feel that, you can rest assured that it's going to show up in your world. Now it's just a matter of when. But if you go back and you say, and you keep living things the way they seem to be right now, you're going to have to revisit and repractice that. But if you can suspend it, accept it in complete faith that it's already done, boom, move on, it'll show up.
It takes practice
It
for us
does take
all. Like
practice.
we're because none of us come ready made. I don't think we all have to come to the awareness of it and then say, okay, well, this is what I need to do because my subconscious mind cannot take a joke, and I don't want to joke with it. I want to give it the goodness that it deserves. And I'm here to live a prosperous, abundant life because that's God. God is abundant and prosperous and rich, and God wants you to have all those things, but you have to partner with God. God can't do it on his own. You have to partner with God, and that's why you need as well, like, you develop skills like discipline. If you no discipline, no results. And I always say, if you think discipline is hard, you're doing it wrong, because self-love is self-discipline. When you love what you're creating, you will discipline your mind to reject everything else that's coming in from the outside. And because now you have a goal, you know where you're going, you're in your own lane. It doesn't care about the outside world, because the outside world can go off and do what they want to do, because now you know where you're going and you have this goal and you want it to come into fruition. So you have to discipline your mind. You know,
I'd say that's the most important thing anybody could do is discipline their mind and practice using your words, your imaginal acts, your feelings to create your vibration, raising your vibration, however you want to.
Because the main thing about it is feelings, as you said. How do I feel now this is achieved? I always say that to myself. How do I feel now this is achieved? But we're not taught to feel. So this is where a lot of people, we're taught as a society to suppress our emotions inside. So, and whatever's inside comes out through the person's behavior. A lot of people go to change their behavior, but it's a secondary cause. You have to go to the primary cause inside the subconscious mind to have permanent change. And that's why it's called a paradigm shift. It's a shift in your identity, because now you're actually coming inside and replacing your habits one by one. But if you're not aware of this and you're not doing it and you're living from the outside in, well, then you're going to be kind of lost then. Because your subconscious mind runs the show. Just your subconscious mind is where all your programs are. And if that's left unattended, if that's left just to control you, well, then your paradigm is controlling you rather than you're in control of your paradigm. And a paradigm is a multitude of habits that control, because we're creatures of habits. We're all creatures of habits. But are your habits controlling you, or are you in control of your own habits?
Well, I could say that for my own self, I've tackled a lot of good habits, and I can't say that I've eliminated all my bad as of yet. That's what I can say. It doesn't mean it's not, done, but I can say I'm happy with myself too, which is pretty awesome.
But isn't it mad the way the paradigm controls us? Like, because the paradigm controls your effectiveness, your productivity, your creativity, your ability to earn money, and your perception. That's what your paradigm controls.
So when you have
person's identity is stuck on, if they have self-limiting beliefs, that's your perception, and they believe that they can only earn such amount of money, they're going to be just only thinking of things that will, and acting like the way that identity is. It's only when you actually come inside and do your work, as you know, Aaron, and you actually look at what my identity is made of, like your self-limited beliefs, your self-image, and your thoughts and your ideas and behaviors. Only when you start looking at them, you start to say, well, if they were created by somebody else, what if I took charge of that, instead of my programs telling me what way I should be? So this is why it's crucial to come inside and do your personal growth. Because when you do your personal growth, then you can start building your self image and changing your perception, changing the programs inside you. So one by one, you can start to evolve and become better and start telling your mind what you want to earn rather than it telling you what to earn.
What to earn,
Yeah. Like
or
most people,
anything else, right?
most people are in jobs and they're always just over broke. They're in jobs that they dislike and they're not working on the inner being within them so they can become more and maybe work less and earn more.
Well, a lot of people, I think, don't know anything different than having a job and just over broke. And I encourage people to become an entrepreneur in any way that they can, whatever, like follow some sort of a passion or find some sort of way that you can supplement your income, sell something. Sales is like the highest best selling or best paying job that you can. I mean, it's like the highest paying job that there is because there's no cap on it. You can sell,
Yeah.
at
It's unlimited.
infinitely. Yeah. So if learn that skill of sales, or just start selling something that you like, that a craft, or start doing something. I'm just saying it gives you a little bit more control, or a feeling of more control, rather than having to punch in and punch out, which is something I've never ever, well, I've done it before, but I haven't done it in 20 some years, and I just couldn't do it at this time. I could not be under somebody else's, them telling me what to do. My time is my most valuable asset to me. I love my time the most out of anything. So more than anything else, I like to be able to do whatever I want to do whenever I want to do it. And you can't do that if you have a job somewhere. It's just impossible. You can't.
You don't have the freedom in a
Yeah.
job.
Freedom, I guess, would be time
Freedom is what
freedom.
personal growth gives you. Personal
Yeah,
growth gives you freedom.
it does. And it gives you choice.
Yeah.
Well, which the choices then give you freedom because you can follow them to, whatever end. You open up the whole road ahead, but you got to first do the work. Everybody seems to want to change about things, or they
And no,
think their life sucks and they don't do a damn thing
yeah.
about it. They just whine that their life sucks. My life sucks, or this happened and that happened and this happened and that happened. And they're always talking about the shit in their life. And if you know what we know, then you wouldn't talk about the shit in your life because you're creating more shit,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? So
Mhm.
don't do it for anybody. I mean, even me. Even if you're just trying to explain a situation to somebody, tread carefully on how you do that, because why would you want to accept it as the way it is and also project it into the future? You're accepting it now like it is. That's just the way it is. Here's what's going on. These are the circumstances. And now you're reinforcing and recreating more of those circumstances. So you close your mind, close your eyes best you can. And I'm not saying, I'm not saying you do what you want to do, but given the understanding that words are creating, and, you're getting the feeling of being, you want to try to suspend that negativity being negative to you, whatever that means to you. You want to try to suspend that and focus on the better.
Yeah. The way you always talk about words, I had my journal and I took out all my journals, right? I had 200 and odd journals the other day and I took them out and put them on the desk. And I wrote this down and I said, I have to
You know
say
what
this.
that means though, right?
I
Is
have to
about the
say this
journals.
to Aaron. Well,
Go ahead.
words are like seeds. Be careful what you're saying to yourself because what you plant comes back. Your words will become your reality. That's what's written down in the book. Look, see?
I believe you.
Yeah.
I believe you. I have no doubt or no question the way things roll off your tongue.
Mm.
The way the words just roll off your tongue. And they're good words. So you've obviously practiced and become aware and thought about it. What do you do on a daily to enhance yourself? Because self-care is the best care. I take care of myself. Self-care is the best care.
But gratitude is part of my day from the time I get up in the morning to the time at night time. I always have a pen and my journal in my hand, and I write with all my heart. I'm truly blessed to have, because thank you, thank you, thank you. And I've been writing them out every day for 14 years non-stop. Like, my gratitude.
Wow. And look what it's brought you.
Yeah. My gratitudes are my my gift back to God. You know, that's the way I see it. Like, I thank God every day for the life that He's given me and the second chance He's given me. Because, as I said, remember, as I discussed earlier, I was on the other side. I disintegrated for years, and then I went on the personal growth journey and I started creating. And I was like, wow, this actually works. This actually works.
Yeah,
But
it's like that.
the work only works on you when you do it. And you have to do your gratitude. Well, I believe gratitude saved my life, basically. Because gratitude enabled me to express my feelings rather than suppressing them. So it allowed me to let go, release, heal, to feel. And gratitude allowed me to thank God for all that I have now and all that I want now. Because it's all about now. So gratitude grounds you back to the present moment. And it also, you work with the law of cause and effect for cause. God
For every
knows
action.
and you get the feeling effect. I'm feeling the secret to everything. And I wasn't aware of this till when I was doing it, that because we're conditioned to suppress and we're not conditioned to express, gratitude allows us to express. And the pen is the tongue of the mind. So when you start to write down what you're feeling, you're actually taking your feelings and you're actually not suppressing them. You're putting them down on paper, and it brings you clarity, much more clarity. So now you're starting to feel. So now you're starting to feel. So you're going out to the world and you're actually feeling instead of suppressing, you're expressing. And then I also really found responsibility. I started taking responsibility for my feelings. And I realized nobody else can make me feel a certain way unless I give them permission. So I realized that I was giving everybody else permission and my power. But I only took my power back when I done personal growth. And power is energy and power is everything. So when I started to take my power back, I realized then it's about me feeding me and building me up from the inside out. So everything that I was doing, I was depositing energy, frequency, and vibration, thoughts, emotions, and then your body. So I was feeding my mind the good stuff, and I start evolving, and it's just incredible. Like, and then I start learning about our mental faculties. I just I started to get real curious. You know, curiosity is more important than knowledge, as Albert Einstein said, and it's true. It's true, because curiosity allows you to question everything. And we kind of go back to like the way we were when we were children. But when we start questioning everything, it opens up doors and you start to evolve. You know, it's pretty amazing. And then I found as well the repetition of the information was actually changing my subconscious mind, my blueprint. So if somebody said to me, just say if I listened to an audio, because I anytime I was in my car, I allowed my subconscious mind to listen to everything, like all the good stuff. So I was replacing all my programs and replacing it with the programs that I wanted. But I just found that the information that I learned, if somebody told me to go do it, I went and done it. I gave myself a command and followed through it. And every time I done that, I built self-confidence, self-worth. And I was starting to grow and evolve. And it's just amazing, like, because the work actually works on you when you do it. Like, I remember one person in particular, Bob Proctor, he said, you know, the serenity chapter in Asman Tinka.
I've never read Asman Tinka.
Asman Tinka, James Allen wrote the book. It's a little small book, but in the back book of I don't know which chapter it is, but it's called Serenity. And he said if you write that every day for 90 days, you'll kind of come calm and centered and in control of your your mind. Like, so I said, I'm going to try that. I'm going to give that a go. Like, never got mentored by Bob Proctor, just heard him on a video. So I done it, and true to his words,
It's real.
yeah, it's real. But then I done it again for another 90 days, and it's just like magic. You just come so calm and centered in your life, and the calm mind is the controlled mind. Do you get me? And I was like, all this is work. All this work is working on me. It's doing something to me. Like, it's just profound. Like, yeah. And I always just think that somebody should have a blue pen and a pad and start asking yourself questions, and the doors kind of open up for you then as you bring your mind clarity, and as you said, thoughts, words, feelings, actions. You start to evolve and change. It's powerful.
Well, it's only powerful if you do it, and it's
Yeah.
only powerful if you want to do it,
Yeah.
and it's only powerful if you know what to do.
Yeah.
So, for anybody listening, I mean, this is going to have to be in the future because it doesn't look like anybody's listening now. But for anybody listening, you have to want to change. I've said this when I was, training people at the gym, or even now. I still feel the same way. I can help anybody that wants help. If you want help, I can help you. I can help reframe your thoughts. I can help you become aware of the thoughts that are holding you back. I can help with that if you want help. A lot of people don't want help,
Yeah.
and they think that they want to change, but they don't want help. And so you can tell them all that you want, but if they're not doing anything about it, and it's the thing about personal development is it's a constant practice. It's not
Yeah.
something that you do one time. It's not something that you do. I mean, how I did it was, I started when I was like 20. I'm 51. I think I was 20, somewhere around there, read a first book, and I'm like, oh, that's a little taste of it, and then I think when I was 25, I read another book, and then I started doing what you're saying, writing stuff down. And then I learned about affirmations and rehearsing and, learning about the subconscious mind and how the subconscious mind works, and that it really is in control. But the conscious mind can control the subconscious mind, but it takes repetition. It takes practice because you're overcoming something that, was habitually, or you kind of learned it growing up. You learned all kinds of stuff growing up that is no good for you. And so it's about unlearning, right? But you're replacing what you're unlearning with something new, a better thought, a better, and I've spent a lot of time doing that to the point where I am happy and contented in my life. And I can't really ask for anything more as far as like, happiness is concerned. Everything else is a bonus for me. All these other things that I desire, I'll be fine if I live like as I am for the rest of my life. I'll have a good day every day. I'm good with that. You know what I mean? So, but it's a lot of practice, and it's a practice for mastery, and it's a practice over time. And when you do get the understanding of your words, your imaginal acts, your feelings, when you do get that understanding, then it's up to you and your responsibility to guard those words and don't just say things haphazardly because people think, because that's what they've been taught, that, oh, I didn't mean it. I'm just saying that. And like what you said, your subconscious mind doesn't take a joke. It takes commands, however you present them, and it takes verbatim words.
And that's why a person has to be very careful who they surround themselves with as well, because there's a lot of people out there that want to not want you to have that dream, because if you go after your dream, it makes them feel, well, why am I not going after my dreams? And she's going after her dreams.
Crabs in a bucket, right?
Yeah. And you have to just surround yourself with good people that know that your dream was put in your heart by God, and only you can do that dream. Nobody else can do that dream but you. And God gave you that dream for a reason. So do not listen to them, and go after your dream and do it for you, because your heart will always pull you back to that thing that you were meant to do. And even though you say sometimes, oh, I don't know whether I can do this, because we've all been there and all done it, but you can, because you, as I said, God gave us all a dream, and He placed it all in all our hearts. But it takes courage to go after our dreams. It does takes courage, because you're going after a vision that only you can see, you know, and you're envisioning it, and your vision is your starting point, but then you have to daily do the steps to get to where you need to go, and it's the steps that allow you to become the one, because that's what you're doing. You're I always say, which I believe happened to me, she fought the fight to become her, because you have to fight to become who you want to be, you know, become the one. And if the fight is between yourself, it's you versus you. It's you against your ego and God, and you against your comfort and growth, and it's you against your reacting or responding. Just two yous in there, and the fight is between you versus you. And it's all about your soul opens with right action. And when you decide to do the action, that's when the old identity dies from lack of nourishment, and you grow and you flourish, and you take these steps, and then you realize one day, wow, I've evolved. And then you're still going and going, because I think it's like personal growth is a never ending cycle. Like you're always reaching for more, because you want to find out who else you can become. So it's all about becoming the one, like I do believe. And anyhow, she fought the fight to become her.
You have all kinds of these little cliche little sayings, like fast. They just flow right out.
Oh, what about she remembered who she was, and the game changed.
There you go. That's a good one too.
Hmm.
Well, I mean, how can you go wrong if you have?
That's what I'm thinking about calling my book. She fought the fight to become her.
Yeah, there you go. It sounds. I mean, I could see anybody reading that, right?
Hmm.
I mean, it sounds like a best-selling New York Times best-selling book to me.
Hmm.
She fought the fight to become her.
Yeah.
What was the other one?
She remembered who she was, and the game
Yeah,
changed.
I like that.
Or
But
you versus you.
Yeah, you versus you is probably, I mean, that's a universal anyway, because it really is always that. It always comes down to you versus you. And everywhere I go, there I am. So people expect things to change and they go somewhere and then they're still there. So the things don't change.
And other people teach you things as well.
Older people?
Yeah.
Well, that's true. And there's wisdom. That's why I said it can come at any age. Because
Yeah.
I talked to a girl just as I went to a convenience store, was getting a coffee, and there was a girl at the counter, and I was talking to another lady at the counter, kind of this kind of stuff, the golden rule, and we're talking
Yeah.
about stuff. And this other girl, she was like, I don't know how old she was, probably 20 or young, somewhere around there, to me, young. And she said something that was like kind of wise, and I was like, huh. I said, I wouldn't guess that out of you. And she was like, why? Because my age. And I was like, pretty much. I mean, for the years that you've lived, I wouldn't,
Yeah.
because it's life experience that gives
And
us wisdom.
what did she say?
I don't remember. It was just
Oh.
something that, because I was kind of caught up in the moment at the time with the other lady, and then we had a little conversation thereafter. And I don't remember the specifics of the conversation, but I was just like, it was just it kind of was a reminder that, you don't have to be older to get it, and you can learn a lot from older people. I know that 1,000%, but also there's
Could have been a young soul as well.
an old soul. She
No
was.
soul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that's what I was gonna say, because I've talked to older people that are complete idiots, and I wouldn't take a bit of advice from them ever. You know what I mean? So it doesn't mean that just because you're old, you understand things. It
Yeah.
doesn't. And it doesn't mean just because you're young that you don't understand things. Because a lot of times it's very confusing when you do understand things and you're young, for people, because nobody else around you gets it. That makes you the weirdo, like there's something off about you because you have intuition, insight, understanding, knowledge that they don't have.
Mm.
and you don't understand it well enough your own self, So
Yeah.
it's like you're kind of feeling outcasted by that, or at least that's a story I've heard more than once.
And that's why you have to keep and continue doing what you're doing. You know,
What is
You-
that?
like you said, like some people can make you feel like you're an outcast because you're wise and full of intuition and knowledge
Oh,
and understanding. So that's why you have to keep doing what you're doing, and that's why I'm keeping doing what I'm doing
because
because it's them that needs this to become better.
a better
And
version of
yeah,
themselves.
it's just because they're so ignorant. They'd rather dismiss it than understand it. And
And
it's really you have to kind of feel for them because they haven't the awareness of it. So you have to kind of send them love and say, well, one day you might be ready, but you're probably not ready yet.
and you don't have to say that to their face.
No.
That could actually start a fight.
Yeah.
No, but there's a verse in the Bible.
I think as well, Aaron, that's why a lot of times I listen. Listen is the best skill that anybody can gain because you don't have to say anything when you listen, but you can listen to other people. Do you get me? And you just know that their awareness is not. They're not like clued in, like.
And you can say, as
And when you listen as well, Aaron, they hear your silence and they feel your energy. Let's just do that for a second, for about 4 minutes. Let's just listen to each other and see can we tap into the feeling of our energies. Are you ready? Go.
forgive them, Father, they know not what they do. I'm listening. It's your turn.
But when we do listen, we get to actually really silence. Listen to the feel the silence of the emotion that of the whole room. I feel it anyhow. And they feel the aura of you.
And now, let us go into the silence.
How did that feel?
I felt like it was a prayer, a distracted prayer. I kind of went inside and I thought about all kinds of stuff. And I was like, casting out to the audience, to the world, but also I was like, I mean, just bunches of stuff went through my head.
Yeah.
And I was like, unconventional training for unconventional results. Cause like if somebody's listening to this and it was, they're just listening in the background and then it goes silent, they might even forget that we were on at all. It's just like, and then all of a sudden, we come back. And now whoa, let's go into the silence. So yeah, I meditate or pray. Pray ceaselessly. Have you heard that? That's Bible. Well, I think it's somewhere in the Bible. I'm sure it is that it says pray ceaselessly. And
What
how
does
I
what does that mean?
ceaselessly, meaning without stopping, without ceasing. So pray ceaselessly, and that's what we're told to do, pray ceaselessly. So when praying, to me, this is how I believe prayers are. Thank you, Father, that whatever it is that I want is now complete, or that, I am whatever. Whatever it is, that's a prayer. Or if you want something, you're starting with thank you that it's already done, because you're getting that feeling. What would it feel like if I was already? How do I feel now that this is achieved? Right? That's the end. So that's a prayer. Every word that we speak all day long is a prayer. And when we're consciously praying, consciously using our words to say the things that we want, to direct our imagination, to get the feeling of being, when we're ceaselessly doing that all day long, and we're aware that that's what we're doing, then we're only creating those things that we want. We're praying ceaselessly. It's just, are we doing it consciously? Because when I was in my head, I had all kinds of pictures popping up, right? And I'm thinking words and I'm saying things. There was a screen on my mind. I mean, all kinds of stuff. You can't turn your brain off. People talk to themselves all day long, and they don't know that they're talking to themselves all day long. Most people, that you're talking to yourself all day long, right? Do you talk to yourself consciously? Are you completely aware of every word that goes through your head all day long? Because I feel like I am.
Yeah, I am aware. Yeah, but I mean more. I have a more stillness.
Well, we're talking to ourselves. Okay, let's not even use you as an example. I'll just say this general over everybody. Everybody's talking to themselves all day long. They're saying things to themselves. You can't,
But
or
that's
you
because they
won't.
get 60,000 thoughts a day and 85% of them is negative.
Well, sure, okay. But the point is, you're still thinking these things. You're saying words inside your head all day long. Most people don't realize that they're saying words inside the. But in order to make a decision from here to there, you're saying, I should go to the refrigerator and grab the water and pour myself a cup. You say that right before you actually go do it, or you say it as you're going to do it. Because I know, because this has been my study for 20 plus years. You're talking to yourself all day long. So you have to get those words that you're saying to yourself all day long in harmony with the words or the experience that you would like to be creating or having. You have to get them in harmony with that. So you have to choose those words, and then you have to eliminate those other words that says, and I catch myself all the time. And, um, I don't know, just, oh, that was dumb. Just something that I would say to myself, okay, oh, good one, whatever it is. Instead of, just like, I don't know. It's just like, you eliminate, if you say and I used to say this, I'm a piece of shit. I used to say that to myself. And then I realized it, and I still would say it sometimes to myself. I don't say it anymore because I've pretty much eliminated it, but it was something that I would say. And most people, because if you're not aware that you're saying it to yourself, you're just saying it. Like, oh, well, like if you're out of shape and you're like, oh, well, I'm fat anyway. If you say that, you're literally saying to yourself, I'm fat. You're accepting that. And then you're creating more of that in the future. You're allowing for more of that to happen. So you have to first become aware that that's what you're saying to yourself, and change that. Or you can change it first and not even be aware that that's what you're saying, but you'll become aware that that's what you're saying after you've changed it, because that'll point you right back to it. There'll be two thoughts there going on, and if you say, I'm getting in better shape every day, if you say that thought, and then you'll become aware of your thoughts, and you say, I'm fat and I'm never not gonna be. You're like, okay, those are two conflicting thoughts, and that's just like serving two masters. You can't serve two masters. So you have to eliminate that one that says I'm not gonna ever be in good shape or whatever, and say I'm getting in better shape every day, and let this one die off. Don't feed it anymore, right? You're talking about feeding your mind earlier. That's the same. Don't feed those thoughts. You have to
Well,
get
it's
rid of them,
kind of what
replace
you're
them.
saying is negative self-talk.
Yeah, you're talking to yourself all day long.
Because emotional certified beliefs manifest as negative self-talk. So
Say it again.
emotional certified beliefs manifest as negative self-talk. So that's why you have to outsmart your inner critic. That's your inner critic. So I done a podcast on this, outsmart your inner critic. And you outsmart your inner critic when you start to do the action. So just say when you start to do gratitude, now you're going to reinforce positive self-talk and start feeling good. And as you do this is a practice. So now you're talking to yourself in a good manner rather than a negative manner. So that's why action is so important. When you do the actually when you do it, you reinforce positive self-talk, and it has to be repetition over and over and over and
Well,
over.
it's cyclical. It's a
Yeah.
reciprocal. It works together. They, so that creates that, that creates that, that creates that, that creates that. So
And then one, as you said, one virtue goes into another, and then another, and you start evolving, you start getting better, and you're like, wow, this is working, and yay, you're going around all happy and.
Well, and we're also very, 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 very powerful to the point that people don't understand that also. And I think that when you manifest stuff and you start manifesting stuff, because that's what we're doing, right? We're manifesting, we're creating experience or things or whatever in our life. And sometimes people don't think that they did that, because they're like, I couldn't have done that, like I couldn't have done that. But when you do it enough times, you get to the point where you just know that you did do that, and you can't deny it any longer. But it takes some practice. So, and I wouldn't say when you go doing things that you necessarily tell people, because people can cast doubt onto you, the point where you think that you're, maybe you're full of crap, or you'll take them into it, like I'm losing it. You're not crazy just because you made a situation happen. And yes, it was you making it happen, and it doesn't make you crazy. But somebody that doesn't understand that will say, oh, dude, okay, that's a coincidence. But there's no such thing as coincidences. So when you first start learning this stuff, I wouldn't necessarily go, spouting it about town that you're, studying this, because not everybody has your best interest in mind. They, like you said earlier, crabs in a bucket. If you're doing good and you're doing better for yourself, then some people will take that as a feeling of being less than, because why aren't they doing it? Like you said, how come they're not going after their goals? So you have to be careful who you share this stuff with. I would say, and that's another thing it says, pray in silence and watch in public, watch it show up in public, but pray in private and watch it happen in public. You don't have to tell everybody what you're praying, or what you're wanting, your goals, Keep your goals to yourself, guard them with your heart, only share them with other people that are wanting to see you accomplish those goals, because the other ones will take the fight right out of you, especially when you first get going sometimes. And sometimes when you first get going, you're just on fire and you're ready to go, and nothing's going to stop you, which is awesome too,
And
But
as well, see, some people want you to do better, but not better than them.
yeah, that's true. It is true. And I probably found myself in that situation where I see somebody else doing better, and I'm like, it makes me feel less about my own self, because I'm thinking, but I would never want anything less than them to do good. But it does give me a certain kind of feeling about my own self for sure. Like, why am I not doing that? You know, and that's not necessarily true because I pretty much do whatever I want to do. I accomplish whatever I want to accomplish in an easy and relaxed manner, in a healthy and positive way.
Life is good.
Life is good. I feel good. Good things are always happening to me.
Will we sing it together?
Let's go. Life is
It's
good.
good.
I feel good.
Good.
Good things are always happening to me. When I wake up in the morning, I'm so excited to see the blessings and the good things that are happening for me. Life
Wow.
is good. I feel good. Good things are always happening to me.
Wow. Very good, Aaron.
Yeah. That
You're
was
good,
an
aren't you?
thanks. That was an inspired song that will reverberate around the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's already, but because it's too catchy. And the thing is, it's good. I mean, you can't go wrong by having those words stuck in your head. You know, you're not poisoning yourself to sing that song all day. So feel free to pick that
Yeah.
up. It is
I'll write it
copyrighted.
down. I'll actually write it down in my
Life.
journal.
I'll send you the link for the song, which
Yeah.
was what I played at the beginning. But I am gonna make a real song out of it. I've got music in my head about it, and I've gone to do it a couple of times, but technology is not my strongest suit. So trying to put it together, what's in my head, and actually replicate that out there in the world hasn't happened just yet. Life is good. I feel good.
That's-
Good things are always happening to me.
What's the next verse?
It's probably in this book. I'd have to locate it. I have them all written. This is one of my books. Okay, but I don't have 230 journals. You know what I thought about earlier when you said that? You said I have 200 and what'd you say, 23 or 230 some journals? How many?
Yeah, a lot of journals.
Well, you know what I thought when you said that? I thought she's psycho. That's a lot of journal.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
I just you get when you see yourself evolving, like when you think about I was depressed for 32 years, and then personal growth enabled me to see another way. So when I started to do the work, then I started to change from the inside out. I started building my self-esteem, my self-confidence, my self-worth. I started to smile because I never smiled, and I realized that I had to do it before the world could give it to me. So I had to feed myself the goodness that I deserve to evolve and grow. So to be on the other side now is just profound for me. And every day to wake up and feel good, it feels like I've won the lottery every day because it's great to just feel good. Because when you're not being feeling good for years, and you always thought that your depression was your fault, and then when you go on the search for yourself in yourself, you realize that you were actually suppressing your emotions, so you were conditioned to do that. I had to relearn a new way to let go, release, heal, to feel my emotions, and that's the journey of personal growth that allows you to do something in a new way, so you can grow into the greatest version of yourself.
So
And
I would say that it's coincidental or coinciding with journey of self, journey of understanding. I mean, I would say to God is what I would say. I'd say the journey of self discovery and the discovery of God are the same. I think.
well, I think it's for me it was the healing power of writing, but I did discover when I went for my search for myself in myself, I discovered the intelligence in me, and that was something that I wasn't expecting. But it's like I came one with God. I can't explain it now. I feel he expresses and embodies through me now. I just because I've done the work every day, daily for 14 years, and I'll continue to do the work because it has made me who I am. Do you get me?
He rises in you.
Yeah.
God rises in you. The more that you know yourself, the more that you understand God, the more that you know God.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, and
What,
God to
what,
me is a mystery too. So I don't know that, but all roads lead you to God in this world, in this life, in my opinion. I think everybody's on that journey, that self-discovery.
what does it mean when they say man is God? Man is God asleep and God is man awake. And that's what happens when you awaken. The God within you wakens up in you.
Well, and
And
that's a gift too. So I always want to say this when I talk about this kind of stuff, at least if somebody's listening to this, it is a gift it's called the gift of salvation. The gift of, like, it's seeking ye shall find. So you're seeking stuff out. But, if you haven't understood this yet, or you don't understand this quite yet, it's a gift. It's given to you, and you have to receive it, and it comes at its right time. And you may not, completely understand it yet, but when you do, it really truly is a gift. You're just like, now what you do with that gift, is up to you. And I'd say use it for good, to help other people, and, to help the world, and to help yourself, and live by the golden rule. But it is a gift. And I didn't mean to go on such a tangent. Sorry. If you can
I
pick
think
up where you left off.
everybody has the gift though, but you do have to come inside and search for yourself in yourself to discover the gift.
That's
gift
the
that
seeking
the
part of it.
intelligence is inside every one of us. But it's like we're not all favored. You get me? Every one of us has it because every one of us has a God's gifted gold mind. Everyone has gold mind, but you gotta do the work. That's why it's in the doing that you grow and evolve.
Well, it is that, because it's a process of understanding. It really is. Because if you were given all the understanding all at once, from complete ignorance to, say, just knowing everything that we're talking about here, if you were given that all at one time, it would be overwhelming for you, and you'd probably lose your mind. Because my process was over 20 years, and there were times where I was losing my mind, because I'm like, this is just so profound. This is so amazing. So, like 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 incomprehensible. When I've seen these things happen in my life, and as a result of what I already know, what I predicated to happening. And I'm like, that's mind-boggling. You know what I mean? It really is. And it's a mystery, and how it all works, and the fact that I and the Father are one. That's like, but you're blasphemous if you say that, but it's true. So you're not really blasphemous. You're really spreading truth. But to get it and to understand it, or to not understand it, that's a whole different thing, because it's like mind blowing, really. I mean, have you had your mind blown? I'm sure you have, right? By your own, like, epiphanies or understandings, or all of a sudden revelations. You're like, holy, whoa.
It's like you have to get to know yourself all over again. Like,
Yeah, well, it's like you never knew yourself at all. You didn't
yeah,
even know that you
yeah,
just never were aware of that stuff.
yeah,
I know now that I know nothing, at
yeah.
least of the world. Anything that I've been taught, I can't even believe. So now it's up to me to decide, what I'm willing to accept, or learn, or whatever, because mainstream media is not giving it to you. That's for sure.
So,
They're not giving you, anything that matters. I'd say that that's probably a poison that you could avoid if you're, and if you're listening to this, you probably already are avoiding that, because you got to be on a certain vibrational level to even draw this information in.
as I always say, we live in the same world, but not on the same frequency.
Yeah, that's true too.
Mm.
And you could pass people in the street, never see them again. But you're gonna draw in. It's like your vibe attracts your tribe, right? You're gonna
Mm.
draw in the people. So I'm excited to see what what goes on um from here. You got any exciting things that happened this week for you?
Let me think. Um, Just being.
Yeah. You have sheep.
We have sheep, yeah. We have sheep and lambs, and we have cows and calves and a cat and a dog and a sheepdog, and my partner has a farm, so I'm living on a farm now, and it's great. I'm learning loads about the farming and the animals and the love of nature, and that's a gift in itself as well. What he does as well, it's brilliant.
What?
Like being with the animals and
Oh, yeah.
you know,
Okay.
and being on the land, and
It's awesome. I mean, I think that that's how we're meant to be, rather than being served up dead food at any given point. Is that your cat?
that's Ginger, yeah, yeah. I have Peanut over there on the chair asleep.
You
The
said
the
cat.
animals just love being around my energy,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So, all good. What about you, Aaron? How was your week?
Um, it's good. Ooh, I just put an effect on. Did that sound
Aaron,
any different?
I ran 3 times this week, or was it 4 times? 4 times. And next week I'm going to run 5 mornings next week because I'm doing
Okay.
morning runs. And
Well, go
at
ahead.
6:45 in the morning, I'm meeting the girls now, and I'm going to do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then Saturday. So I'll probably do 5 next week runs.
That's awesome. Good for you.
And I'm at toning my body really well. And tonight I was able to put on a skirt that I hadn't worn in a while, and it's comfortable on me, and I'm like, yay!
Yeah, that's always nice.
Yeah, feels
Yeah.
good when you put the work in.
Yeah. Well, and you can do it. It doesn't have to be hard. I
Mhm.
say that a lot. It doesn't have to be hard. It just has to be. Consistency is key. So you
Yeah,
just do the stuff. Do it. Just do it. Just do it. Just do it.
yeah,
And consistently, and then the thing is, when you have that consistency, what it does for you is just like anything. You're writing in the journal. When you do that stuff consistently, it causes you to become aware of that type of thinking. So you access the awareness of the state of that, which is or the higher vibration. You access the resources of that higher vibration, and better thoughts come to you. So you're inspired now to, as you're running the 5 or 6 days a week, then you're inspired to drink more water because that comes along with it, and then that inspires you to think about what you're going to eat for the next meal because you know that you don't want to feel like crap in the morning, so you're paying attention more to your food. So it's like one thing leads to another. It's a snowball effect, and
ripple
before
effect.
you yeah, and before you know it, like, all is well because you started um focusing more on, again, attention. You put more attention into. That's what you did. You're making a plan. You plan on, now you're running and you've got a group together and whatever. That's awesome. Set up for success is what I call that, right? I mean, you're
Mhm.
set yourself up for success. If you want to start running, put your running shoes by the front door. Remind yourself that you want to start running and set
Mhm.
yourself up for success, you know what I mean? And that's true for anybody. But good job, congratulations on that. On that note, I've run 427 days in a row up until yesterday. And yesterday, I did not run. I broke my streak because I went to run, and I think we talked about it last time, but I tweaked my back and
Yeah.
it's been sore. I've been stretching, 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 and I've been running on it anyway, but it doesn't seem like it's really helping it. So I thought maybe I need to give it some rest. Even though I went to run and it was like, not maybe I need to give it some rest. It was more like, no, you're not running today, buddy. You're just not. And I was like, okay, I'm not. So I finally conceded, and I'm, anxious to get that back, but in its right time is where I'm at. But I had to say that because the last you knew, I was on a streak of 400 and some days, which up until yesterday I was. Last night I went out to run and I was like, nope, nope. So
Brilliant, though. That's an amazing achievement. So congratulations to yourself too.
Well, thanks. I mean, I really was. That was the streak that was driving me. Like, I was like, I can't break that streak. There's no way. I just can't do it because, you know, where do you go from there? Start again. But so I went and, even it was like 4 or 5 days before that I went and it was just a rough, and I've just been rough. So I think maybe my body's just saying, chillax for a little bit. Let me rest up. So I'm gonna
You have to listen
give it
to
a
your
few
body
days.
as well. Your body knows what it needs and what it doesn't need, like as well. Like you need time out.
I believe that, I do believe that. And I would tell people that, there's a difference in different types of pain when you're, working out or, exercising. There's a difference in pains. And some pains are saying stop, and other pains are saying, ow, that hurts,
Yeah,
I'm,
yeah, yeah.
I'm not used to that. But some of them really are saying stop. So you learn to differentiate what's what, because there's a good pain. There is such thing as a good pain, and that's like pushing through and muscle burn and, growth and all that stuff. That's in life too, right? Struggle.
Mm.
So anyway,
I love the feeling it gives you after the run. Sometimes you
yeah,
don't be in the humor to go, but when you go, when you
you
get there,
always,
it's all about
yeah.
discipline and blah blah blah. But I always say, well, how is this going to make me feel? Because it's always about the feeling, the
Well,
feeling force, like
yeah, that's true.
you
I
know,
think that you always feel better when you're done.
yeah. It's like the endorphins is just amazing, like. And it's mad to think all you needed to do is put on runners and go, like, and you're running the streets, like, you're running.
Well, that's
And
what I love about running is that you can do it anywhere, anytime,
yeah,
in any condition, really, if you're prepared for it.
yeah.
Really, it's like the best thing to do. And I'm really like genuinely saddened that I broke my streak, but that was where I was a piece of shit. When I broke the streak, I'm like, you're a piece of shit. Not really. I don't think that, but
Now remember, your subconscious mind cannot take a joke.
I know. I know.
Don't joke with it.
I know. You're right.
It takes you literally.
I know. Life is good. I feel good. Good things will always happen to me.
Mm.
That is my follow-up to any time I catch myself saying anything. And then I'll say it until I feel it. I'll say it until it feels right, because you can say it 5 times and not feel it. Life is good. I feel good. Good things will always happen to me. Life is good. I feel good. Good things will always happen. And not really feel it. And then you're like, slow down. Life is good. Yeah, life is good. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It is really actually, you know what? It really is good. And then I do feel good and I do feel good, and then you have to use comparison sometimes. It's like the guy that had no shoes was all bummed out, right? And then he
Yeah,
came across the guy with no feet and he was like, oh, okay. I'm
yeah.
okay. Life is
He,
good.
yeah, he focused on what he had, and he had all the riches in the world. It's just that
Exactly.
a lot of people are not focusing on what they have in their life to actually appreciate it. And
Yeah.
that's a practice
It is a
of
practice.
gratitude.
Yep. Exactly that. Exactly that. That's why it's so important to practice gratitude daily, every day, all day, if possible.
For the
Get
rest
the
of your life.
Yeah. And then it doesn't become a practice, it becomes a habit, and then it's not even just
It's
a habit,
automatic.
it's
Yeah.
yeah, and it's a recognition then instead of you're trying to make it happen, you're recognizing all the things that are happening that are great that you're so grateful for because it's just a
Yeah.
compounding effect. First you start with gratitude, but then you're given all these things to be grateful for, and you're like, yeah, like
And
holy
then
cow.
a lot of your reality is changing. People are nicer to you and kinder to you because you're giving it out and you see the goodness in the world and you're always on that side. And there's bad in the world, obviously, the law of polarity, but if you focus on the bad, that'll grow. So you don't, you focus on the good, and it comes a way of being. You embody it then, and it grows in every fiber of your being. So it becomes who you are. Like, and we don't attract what we want to attract who we are. So you're not lying. And as well, when you embody this as well and tell the truth, People feel the truth from you. And you're not lying to people. You're saying, look, if you do this, that, and that, and that, this will improve your life. If you don't want to do it, stay where you are and stay.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. You know what I mean? And if that's a choice that you choose, that you're choosing that, because what's it? Indecision is a choice too. You know? And decision making is actually a skill that we have to relearn. Well, I had to relearn how to make decisions because we're not taught to make decisions. So it's only with personal growth, I think, it opens up a lot of doors.
How do you make decisions? How did you learn to do that?
Well, by asking myself questions, what am I going to benefit from this? Like, what's the outcome of this? What's going to be the outcome of this? If I do this, what outcome will it give me? Will it make me feel good or not feel good? Because we're making choices all day, every day. So, and I love the law of polarity as well, because the law of polarity is opposites. And it's always, what thoughts am I choosing? What thoughts am I choosing? Because all actions result of thought. So when I start thinking the thought, I'm going to improve my action. And then our actions are our daily decisions that we're doing every day. So is this action going to move me towards where I want to go? Or is it going to move me away from where I want to go? So you have to ask yourself a lot of questions, because questions bring clarity, and if you don't have the clarity, you're not going to move. So it's kind of like, you know, it's all about awareness, and then having the direction, and then the guides to guide you to where you want to go, so you can go there quicker. Because you can do
Direction,
yeah.
awareness, direction. Direction comes from goals, right? And then what? Awareness, direction.
And then you're led, the steps you're led.
They'll be given to you.
Yeah, because I believe nobody, like, because we're in the unknown when we're creating our goals and we're taking the steps. You kind of develop yourself as you take the steps. You start building yourself up. Do you get me? So,
and you resurrect parts of yourself
yeah,
that were once there from a long time ago, that were good qualities about you that were kind of buried and hidden.
Yeah, you're more
talents, skills, all that stuff starts coming to the surface. You like open that up. Because everybody, I mean, if you look at people that are of, you know, any kind of age and life experience, they talk about, say in their 30s, they talk about when they were in high school, they used to do this, 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 and this, and they were, you know, good at these things. You know, people would say that kind of stuff as if it's gone, and it might be gone, but you can resurrect it. You can bring it back, the good things about yourself, and then through goal setting, attention, giving it attention. First, you have to know that you're doing it at all, anything, right? Attention is the most important thing. Most people are not self-aware at all whatsoever. Zero. They just be, and that's okay. But when you become aware, then you can change it. So goal setting, and I think I cut you off, and I'm sorry if I did. I got too excited about something.
No, you're good.
So goal setting, action, taking action.
And then
you said
belief.
Well, belief is built, right? Belief is not just the way it is. Belief is not truth, but your belief becomes true. But belief is not truth, because you can believe something that is not true.
Yeah, because our self-limiting beliefs are like, most of them are the truth, because they're thoughts we keep thinking, but how do you know the thought's true? And it's only when you start to realize that most of your thoughts aren't true, because how are they true? How are they your truths if you were got programmed these beliefs when you were young, from the age of 0 to 7? So from 0 to 7, you were a child. So, but yet these beliefs are repeating back to your intellect and playing the experience back to your behavior. So if you were only an infant, not an infant, but you were a boy at 0 to 7, someone else's programs are programming you, basically. And it's only
Every
when you start to do personal growth, you realize that if somebody else's programs are programming me, then a self-limiting belief is a thought I keep thinking. So how do I know that thought is true? And if you don't know it's true, could you replace it with a new thought that could serve you rather than the one that's not serving you? So you're replacing it. That's why habits can't be deleted or removed, only replaced. And a habit is a thought, a belief is a thought. And it's only when you start to come inside and realize that a thought, the highest form of thought is imagination. So you're creating a new world for the new beliefs to form, because repetition creates beliefs. So it's only when you start to imagine the life that you want to live, you start to believe it, because belief comes forth through creation, because creation is finished. So you got to believe before you see it. And that's the power of belief. And that's where faith comes in. And that's where God comes in. And that's where imagination comes in. And they're all God's tools.
everything,
This is how, yeah.
it
This
all
is how
works
the
together.
intelligence- Yeah. This is how the intelligence wakes up in you. Because you start to use his gifts. And when you start to use his gifts, he embodies through you. Because you're living and embodying and living the material. You're brought into your heart. And when it's in there, it grows like venom all over your body. That's the way I feel with me. It's like amazing. Like, yeah.
That no, I'm not gonna. I'm kind of funny if you haven't figured that out, but let's say that and the drugs. I mean, I feel great.
Yeah.
It was bad.
And we're at and going over a bit time. It's an hour and 26 minutes now. 56.
I see.
Now.
So it's a good time to cut it off, and we'll do this next week again. One more.
Yeah, definitely.
We'll keep doing one more.
Could we even do this on a Friday night next week? Oh
I
no,
don't
wait,
see why
Friday
not.
night. I'm actually going away. No, Friday night. It's my mom's birthday, and I'm going to see Nate Carter in the Board Gosh. So maybe not Friday night. So maybe we'll leave it till Saturday night.
That's
Saturday
fine.
night. Yeah.
So you have it. You heard it here first, guys. We'll be here again Saturday, same time, same channel.
Same time. Yeah.
It'll be two gurus,
Hmm.
Aaron David Spiegel and Ann Siri with God's Gifted Gold Mine. Thanks for joining us. Please
I know
leave.
Aaron with Life is Good.
Well, I'm Game of Life training, but life is good. I do feel good, and good things are always happening to me. So thanks for watching. Hit the
Thank
like,
you.
hit the subscribe, share, check out Ann's stuff. All the stuff's down below. So have a great one. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Thank you.